welcome to Working Dragon Mystic, where we discuss real metaphysical and occult knowledge so that you can manifest real and tangible results in your life. This week we're going to be talking about the 4 elemental rulers of dragon magic. But first, a few announcements from Bob. See you in a second.
Well, hello there, seekers and prospective dabblers alike. I'm sure many of you have likely heard this before, but the Dark Roast Monster here is having me read this before I can go back to what I was doing, so please bear with me. Please consider supporting Drake and everything he is working on by utilizing the YouTube memberships. For each tier of said memberships, you may find that you unlock additional perks, such as private live streams, monthly spell workings, and others. Also, feel free to peruse some of our merchandise on our shop's page. We have t-shirts, towels, mugs, and many other items and garments, each with their own bit of art on them, like the draconic rulers and the dragon's eye seal. We also have this one hosting regular live streams on Sundays at 7 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you're one admin I'm thinking of in particular, remember to convert the time zone and set an alarm. At these streams, you can listen in on Drake's latest work, ask him questions, and generally have a decently thought-out discussion. For those looking for a more long-term involvement with the community, others to talk shop with, or peers to learn and develop alongside, please check out our community on Guilded. There, you'll find a variety of different people and different cultures and practices, and in one of the admin's case, a wonderful use of the mute button. I mean, that blonde one just, when he goes on a rant, he just goes, and doesn't stop. I mean, does he ever shut... What? Oh, okay, fine. On topic. For all interested in set, easy-to-follow courses on magic and its many facets, take a look at Drake's online school on teachable.com. Here, he hosts a steadily growing roster of courses on different topics of magic. If you find that you don't see something that you're looking for, let us know. We'll try to find it or incorporate it in the future. From beginner to learned adept, all should find something that they didn't know prior. Links for everything I've mentioned in the description below.
Hello. Now, I know what some of you might be thinking. Drake, didn't you already do a video on this? We thought you did. I did. First off, that video was very, very early in this channel's career. And I'll be honest with you, I was never happy with how it ultimately turned out. And I've learned a lot about being able to do videos since then. And there were certain aspects of it that the dragons themselves have requested that I alter. For example, in that video, we tried to cram all 9 rulers into a single video, and it just got cray-cray. It really did. However, so that video has been currently taken down. I don't know if we'll repost it. And we are doing this video in order to focus in on those first 4 rulers. The first rulers and the rulers most people actually do spend most of their time working with. And we want to talk about those specifically in a single video so they're easier to find and that information is easier to get a hold of. Now, we do have a course on Dragon Magic, Dragon Magic 101, over at the school that Bob mentioned. Just go to workingdragonmystic.com. You'll see the tab. Click it says Courses and Dragon Magic 101. We'll deep dive into these rulers and a full detailed path working to get you started in Dragon Magic and really bonding with them, as well as to find your Guardian Dragon and your Co-Magician. All right. Now, one of the things we should say about the draconic rulers, if you do not have a Guardian Dragon and you do not have a Co-Magician yet, you cannot work with them. There are a lot of people who claim to work with them before then. It's not them. It's like if I took one cell out of my body and placed it in front of you, that would essentially be what you're working with. Either that or it's just it's a thought form that you created. That's kind of the unfortunate side. It's not something I'm happy with in how the dragons handle it, but at the same time, these are entities that just being in their presence, the energy around them, can really screw with your life if you're not ready to balance it out. Remember, balance is the key point in dragon magic always. Balance is number one. So with that, we have to proceed with some caution and some knowledge and wisdom. And this is actually where the Guardian Dragon and the Co-Magician come in, because they help us to balance out the presence of these first 4 rulers. They can't do anything for the high rulers, and that's why they're not going to be included in this video. They're a completely separate thing altogether. So, the first elemental ruler that we want to talk about today is Terrafona. Now, I know a lot of people love Terrafona. She is the ruler of the Earth Dragons. She's been amazing in my life. She can help you in areas dealing with, and I do have some notes here because y'all know I don't, after all this time, I still don't like being on camera. She helps you in areas that deal with strength, defense, money, wealth, healing, endurance, luck, power, wisdom, balance, hard work, harvest, rewards, integrity. All these things that I think most magicians would associate with Earth, she can really help you with. Now, one thing that a lot of people's noticed is they say Earth can make a person very, very lazy. Well, Earth can move slow. It can at times. And for a lot of people, they think Terrafona is going to be easy going. They tend to forget about earthquakes. See, if we become too stagnant and we're refusing to move, that pressure is building up just like between 2 tectonic plates. And when Terrafona sees that, she is going to wreck the very foundation you're trying to rest on and be lazy. And it will hit you with a force that will make any earthquake we've seen in modern times look like just a speed bump. And that's just the reality. So you gotta be sure that you're pushing forward, you're striving, you're showing that endurance. And again, hard work is a thing that falls under her area. So you don't want to just sit down, be lazy, and do nothing if this is a dragon that you want to work with and want in your life. Slow and steady progress she's okay with, but if you just get lazy and stop doing it, you can expect the ground to shake underneath you and her to drop your house of cards on you. All right. That would bring us to our next... Well, hold on. No. Okay, so a lot of people always ask me, what do they look like? Terrafona usually appears as a large European-style dragon, often brown or green. Size, honestly, she's the size of the Appalachian Mountains. Pull up a map and look at that range. She can use those to lay on. It's kind of terrifying. But all these rulers are very large in that capacity. We do have a video specifically on Terrafona, as well as the other rulers. You can check those out. I'll try to make sure they're linked here in the cards as well. All right, on to the next ruler. The next ruler we're going to talk about is Zephyr Cell, the draconic ruler of air. Now, Zephyr Cell is a lot of fun. He is often quick. He does not settle down. He has that kind of just constant, just a constant unstopping motion, kind of like a hurricane or something. He's always moving. He cannot sit still. He won't sit still. Now, he is a very, very intelligent and whimsical, and he loves practical jokes. So a lot of people find him somewhat difficult to work with because he is always in motion. Where Terrafona does appreciate slow and steady progress, Zephyr Cell can get very impatient and is always constantly in motion. He does not like to sit still. So be aware of that when you're working with him. However, the fact that air does deal with intellect makes him a very, very valuable ally. And the things that Zephyr Cell is really skilled at working in, or some of them, not all of them, this isn't a fully exhaustive list, is business, education, knowledge, wisdom, matters dealing with the minds, communication, travel, clarity, and speed. Again, he got to go fast. So he is a lot of fun. Now, Zephyr Cell does often appear as a European-style dragon. That's not set in stone. If you want, we do have canvas artworks at the merch store of all these rulers. You can go over there, check out the canvases. You can purchase them or just get an image of them. We do also have individual videos on these rulers as well. And I'll try to make sure those are linked here in the bios. Okay, the next ruler of the 4 is Ingus Salor, ruler of the fire dragons. He is a lot of fun. Now, he is definitely one of those, again, he doesn't have a lot of patience, which being a ruler of fire, that kind of makes sense, don't it? The areas that Ingus Salor works in is will, passion, anger, rage, cleansing, heat, sun, courage, transformation, banishing, destruction, even hate. When you're dealing with fire, it can get rough and you can definitely get burned. And Ingus Salor is very much a embodiment of the primal powers of fire. More so than even many fire elementals I've worked with in the past. But he is... where Zephyr Cell just can't sit still, Ingus is one that won't let you sit still. He doesn't have patience. He doesn't have the time to wait around on you to get things done when it's convenient. If something needs done, it needs done now, so do it. Otherwise, he's going to get a little upset, and he will, pun intended, light a fire under your butt. All right, which brings us to the 4th and final one of the elemental rulers that we're going to be talking about today. And that is the elemental ruler of water amongst dragons, called Cora Legra. This one, I adore her. She's a lot of fun. She is very calming in most senses, usually. She's very pleasant. If you've ever sat by the pool or a lazy day at the beach, you kind of know what I'm talking about, that calming feeling that water has. There's a reason we have fountains in our house as relaxation, and all these little zen and meditation places have them. And areas that Cora Legra can help one with, that is actually, in my opinion, pretty helpful. Healing, emotions, calm, nurturing, weather magic, compassion, ice, cold, depression, warmth, death, wrath, jealousy. Now, wait a minute, Drake, hold on. Some of those don't sound pleasant at all. No, they don't. And here's why. Oftentimes when we talk about water entities, we talk about the things that they do that are calming, they're relaxing, they're healing, and they are. But we focus on the positive emotions and how those emotions affect our lives. We fail to realize that there are emotions that are viewed as harsh or negative that affect our lives, and you would have to expose yourself to those emotions for true healing. So don't forget, Cora Legra deals with emotions as a whole, all of them, as well as healing. Most people who actually truly approach Cora Legra for the first time end up bawling in tears because of the sheer overwhelming emotions that come crashing through that they've bottled up. They weren't even aware they were there half the time. Just by being in her presence. She doesn't have to do anything. Just by being there, she just draws that stuff to the surface. And these are things that, though she might want to just be able to touch it and be like, you are healed, she knows you also have to face them and work yourself through them. Otherwise, the root will still be there. So she is going to cause you to work through those. And to this day, I still go to Cora Legra to work through things past and things that are present. I mean, things happen daily that upset us and get us worked up. And she is a great individual to sit down and help work through those things, you know? Really nice. Let's see. Is there any other notes on her? Okay, no. Like I said, she can help with weather magic, which is one where she overlaps. Now, we've already talked about 4 of them. What could be left? Well, in those key notes and those key words we gave for each of these rulers, I want you to understand that every one of those words has a positive and a negative that creates a balance. These elemental rulers have the ability and full mastery of that balance on both sides. Sometimes healing can be a very, very torturous thing. In fact, some of the worst curses and torturous magics I've seen worked on a person utilized healing to prolong their suffering, which is effed up in my mind. There is no good or bad amongst dragons. There is just the balance. And because of that, these rulers sit within that balanced area. So if you think you can only work with one half of them, you're very wrong. It is impossible to work with these beings and only focus on one side. Their entire existence is based around that balance. And if you're unwilling to see that balance, they're not going to be a good thing for your practice at all. You can try as you might to stay perfectly on that right-hand path. Don't touch anything negative. Love and light. But believe me, they will slam you with the other side of it, because if you work with them, they're going to work to balance you. And if you chose to work with them, if you chose to call them, that was the choice you made. These are not entities one should call recklessly or just willy-nilly. You really need to make sure that you're ready to have balance in your life. And believe me, balance, when you got it, it's a good thing. But getting there is not always easy. And honestly, a lot of times it can be downright harsh what we have to go through to reach that balance. There can be a lot of loss in our life. Things that aren't serving our best interest or whatnot that we need to get rid of. They're actually toxic to us. And those energies are going to start to rip those things out. These 4 rulers are actually pretty pleasant in the experience overall. They're not too harsh for most magicians, and they understand that. However, newer practitioners who think magic's all fun and games, they may have a hard time with it. However, I do adore these 4 entities and their commitment to the balance and their commitment to knowledge and wisdom. And to anyone interested in dragon magic, I highly encourage you to get your guardian dragon, get your co-magician, and start to try and reach out and start to learn from them. Now, dragon magic's not talked about in a lot of different places, I know. I've been teaching it for years. I've even shared notes with DJ Conway before her passing, and she is missed. She's actually the one who encouraged me to share my work and my research. So I currently owe both this channel and the Dragon Magic classes to her largely because she was my inspiration for doing it. I didn't actually think I could put it together in a format that would function in that way. She encouraged me. And since then, you know, over at workingdragonmystic.com, the Dragon Magic 101 course has helped so many people find a guardian dragon, a co-magician, and build long-term beautiful friendships with these rulers and gain an understanding, a mastery, and a balance to their life that if that's the one good thing I do in my life, I think I've lived a good life just to be able to give that. But I give the credit to the dragons. They're the ones who taught me. They're the ones who shared their wisdom originally. And of course, I first bumped into them through Conway's works. So this is a pushing forward in order to share this and to teach. Now, if you are interested in working with these 4 rulers, do check out our videos on them individually, as well as be sure to check out our Guardian Dragon video and how to find your Guardian Dragon, and make sure you find your co-magician after that in order to contact and work with these rulers proper. Or if you're interested in a full deep dive path working, we do have Dragon Magic 101 over at the school. I'll try and make sure it's linked below as well. I'll also try to make sure that the names or the spelling of the names for these dragons is also listed below for you, because I know that they are spelled weird and somewhat people have trouble spelling them and pronouncing them. So I'll try and make sure the spelling's below to help you out as best it can. Believe me, these names still give me trouble all the time, especially when I see them spelled out. Some of them don't really make sense why they're spelled that way to me, but that's not my business. The dragons spell them the way they spell them, so be it. Luckily, I can pronounce them. I'm happy to be able to pronounce them, so we'll go with that. Because there's a lot of entities, seriously, I stumble over their names horribly. So don't feel bad if you have trouble figuring out the spelling or trying to pronounce it. It can be hard. It can take time. It's understandable. They don't get insulted over those little things. Now, I will say this: when working with these rulers, you're going to have to build trust with them. Any dragon, you're going to have to build trust. You're going to have to do the work. If you want to work with dragons, don't walk in there and just ask them for something for nothing. They're not going to do it. They're about accountability. You make a mistake, you're accountable. You take an action, you're accountable. They really don't like to do the excuses game for anything. They will ask you, even if something bad happens to you that you didn't have an ability or a way to necessarily prevent, they will ask you how you could do better to better keep yourself safer or to prevent that scenario in the future. Whether it's a flat tire, your car breaking down, things like that. They will try to get you to think about how you can better handle that scenario in the future and to better secure and master yourself and your environment. It's pretty neat how they do this and break it down like that. All right. Anyways, that's what we got on these 4 rulers. I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, check out our other videos, the individual videos that we do on each of the rulers. Also, consider checking out the canvas prints that we do have at the merch store for the rulers. They're really fantastic. A wonderful artist. Sarah did all the artwork for us, working with the rulers through evocation and whatnot to get the rulers' approval on them, which I really think they turned out fantastic. If you're interested, if you're not, just pop over there, take a look at them, and get an idea what the rulers kind of look like. Sometimes it helps with the working with them if you have an image of what they look like. And if you are interested in classes on Dragon Magic, I know I've said it before, and I'm sorry, I probably should shut up, but do check out the online school we have at workingdragonmystic.com. We do have Dragon Magic. We also have meditation classes if you're just getting started. Meditation is definitely foundational to any magical practice. And we do occasionally have workshops over there that are live workshops where you sign up, reserve your seat in the workshop, and then you can come in, and I'll be teaching the workshop and with a Q&A at the end. All right, I hope you all have a fantastic week, and until next time, I'm Drake, and this has been Working Dragon Mystic. Take care. Bye-bye.